The story is being told by Barbie to her little sister Kelly, who is feeling uneasy about being at camp overnight for the first time. She remembers the story while looking at constellations being started on after finding Cygnus. The story begins with Odette dancing in her father's bakery. Odette feels happy because she knows how to dance a ballet dance, which is to be very hard to handle or to be practiced. Her sister is also shown as a fast horse rider. A unicorn named Leela arrives in the village and manages to escape hunters and runs into an enchanted forest with the curious Odette on her heels. Leela becomes trapped and Odette unknowingly removes a magic crystal, unaware that the fairy queen is watching. Then Odette was shocked with what is happening. She uses it to free Leela, and the fairy queen tells Odette that she is the chosen one, for the crystal chose her by letting her take it away from the tree. She explains that Odette is the one who will purge the evil plaguing the forest. The fairy queen's cousin, Rothbart. Odette, not wanting to get mixed up in the situation, refuses. The fairy queen complies but sends Leela to escort her out and give one last try at convincing her. Rothbart appears in the wood with his daughter, cornering Odette by a tree. There she is trapped and transformed into a swan by the evil wizard, who wants to use Odette and the crystal to defeat his enemy, the Fairy Queen. The Fairy Queen is able to partially counter the spell so that Odette retains her human form by night, although she will still have to turn into a swan by day. Odette also meets the other elves of the forest, Carlita, now a skunk, Ivan, a porcupine, as well as a few others. Odette's father and sister, Marie, start looking for her, afraid because Odette is missing. Prince Daniel, the prince living in the castle in Odette's village, is introduced. A spirited man, he prefers exploring rather than marriage, much to the dismay of his mother. The Fairy Queen also gives Odette a crown with the crystal in it that will protect her from Rothbart. Odette is determined to find a solution to the problem and goes to a magical library to find it. However, they are unable to locate the book and Odette is disheartened. Rothbart lures Prince Daniel into the forest, determined to get him to hunt Odette. However, Daniel is captivated by the swan's beauty and decides to let it live. The two soon fall in love when he sees her true form. They dance gracefully and afterwards Odette transforms into a swan. Daniel asks Odette to a ball, but at first she denies until he finally convinces her to come. Odette agrees. Soon, Erasmus the troll in charge of the library arrives, having found the book. He reveals to them that the solution is true love. Realizing that Daniel can save them all, the Fairy Queen teaches Odette how to waltz at the ball but are interrupted when Erasmus is kidnapped. They manage to save him, but Rothbart learns of what will be his downfall. So, he transforms his daughter Odile to look like Odette in the eyes of Daniel. Odette races to get to Daniel but is too late. At the ball, Prince Daniel pledges his love to Odile, thinking her to be Odette. Odette, who was trapped outside in swan form, is unable to tell Daniel about the trick. Odette falls to the ground, the crystal having lost its power, and she is mortally weakened. Rothbart reveals the truth and he and Odile escape. Daniel runs after them and the Fairy Queen attempts to revive Odette, who is barely alive. However, Rothbart turns her into a mouse and attempts to kill Odette and Daniel. The two fall onto each other, their hands intertwined. At that moment, the crystal's power explodes outwards, stopping Rothbart, as they two were truly in love. The two awaken and all of Rothbart's evil is undone. At last, Odette and Prince Daniel confess their love for each other. Everyone from the village and the enchanted forest celebrate. It is revealed that Odette and Daniel are to be married and are finally happy. Rothbart gets his just dessert as he is now a cuckoo clock while Odile is a maid. At the end, it is shown the story has given Kelly a new resolve and she promises she will participate in the race the following day. She yawns and heads off to bed, with Barbie smiling behind her.